Hello and welcome back to my scraproom. My name is Jennifer Perry and I am a close to my heart consultant. You can find my blog at myscraproom.net, and that is the main way of contacting me, is through that blog. I am working on a tiny technique that I wanted to bring to you. I'm still practicing with it, so I don't have a finished card yet, but I got so excited about it that I wanted to bring it to you. The first item, and I feel like such a bad little consultant because I did not know this to begin with, is close to my heart, and I guess I did realize it, but I didn't realize it. Does that make sense? Okay, close to my heart has two sets of pencils. This is a coloring pencil. This is a watercolor pencil. The differences is, I don't know, this one says watercolor, this one does not, and the watercolor pencil has kind of an octagon shape to it, and the coloring pencil is completely smooth. I don't know why I did not realize we had two separate sets of pencils. I assumed they were all coloring pencils, and I was getting irritated when I wasn't getting the results that I wanted. And then a friend of mine, she popped me upside the head and she said, hey dork, one of them is watercolor pencils. So anyway, just so you realize that, yes, I have been a consultant for 13 years, but I don't do a lot of coloring. It is something that I am just getting into. I haven't really been the biggest stamper in the world. I've been a scrapbooker and a card maker, but not a huge stamper. So you're learning these techniques right along with me. Okay, so I have autumn terracotta, orange, and gray wool. These are the watercolor pencils. And I also have the Close to My Heart Shimmer brush, and this is the clear. And I have stamped out several little fox images from a retired stamp set that I have been practicing with. So when I first started the technique, I wanted to use our alcohol markers. And the technique that I saw was you put the alcohol marker on the outside edge, and then you use the shimmer brush to draw the color into the center. That didn't work out so well. I don't know if our markers are not wet enough or if it's the paper that I'm using. You're supposed to use watercolor paper for this technique. My daughter is an art student, so I just grabbed some of hers. Close to My Heart does sell some watercolor paper. I have it. I was just too lazy to go get it. But the technique that I did do that ended up working quite well with me, this is the autumn terracotta. I didn't like how that one came out. This one is the regular orange. This is the watercolor pencils with the shimmer brush. So let me just show you really quickly how I did this. Okay, so I'm going to use orange. I'm not going to use the autumn terracotta. And I'm just going to very lightly, am I even in? No. Okay, let's use this one. Okay, very lightly. Pull it all in. Now I am using the archival black ink. Hello, there we are. I am using the archival black ink so that it doesn't smear as bad. If you use the regular ink, you will smear the ink. And I also heat set the ink. I'm not used to working with the camera this close up, so I keep having to look and see if I'm in screen. So I am just very, very lightly putting some color down. Oh, I forgot a leg. Okay, so this is the fun part. Let's turn him back up. Okay. Shake the water brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take the water brush and move the color around. And then if I think it's getting a little moisture or the tip is getting a little messed up, I'll just wipe it off on a paper towel. And then in between color, I also wipe it off so I don't drag the color in to the other side. So what the shimmer brush is doing is it is smoothing out the ink, and it's also adding a bit of shimmer to our little fox. You can do this with a water brush. But what I like about it is the shimmer brush is also putting down the shimmer. So you don't have to do the water brush and then go back over it with the shimmer brushes. The shimmer brush is doing all the work. I am being very careful not to go outside the lines. On this particular stamp, I can fussy cut it out, but with a lot of my stamps, I use the thin cuts. So there you go. There is my little completed fox. I don't know if you can see the shimmer. So again, just a tiny little technique using the watercolor pencils, the shimmer brush, some watercolor paper. You can either use the Close to My Heart watercolor paper, which is a little bit smoother than the professional grade that I'm using that my daughter has, and an archival black stamp pad. I will tell you, I have been using this stamp pad so much recently that I'm going to buy a second one for myself. In fact, I'm going to place the order tomorrow. It is becoming so handy with the techniques that I'm learning with this shimmer brush and also with the markers. I never dreamed I would be using it that much. It also helps when you're using the archival black with your coloring techniques. I keep my heat gun handy to set the black ink. And I also, whenever I was stamping these out, I used my Mini Misty to double stamp each image just to make it a little bit more crisp. So that was also a big help. That way I was able to get a nice crisp image for my little fox. So I will keep practicing with this, and if I come up with a card idea, I will come back in and show you the finished card. But until next time, bye-bye.